Other than that, folks, man, whew, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay, and it's time to give you a follow-up on the ZTE Axon 10 Pro. I've been using this thing now for at least a week, and I gotta tell you, there's a lot to like about it, and there's some things that I don't like about it. So the first thing I want to do is start with the dislike, and that is the 4K recording on the phone indoors and under artificial lighting. So there's always scenarios where I have to use the phone in artificial lighting setting because, you know, it could be late in the evening. I could just be in a spot where I need some light and it's dark. So this phone I found in my experience, not even just the dark situations that I've done. I don't know if you remember my original video. The 4K video was just not the best. For some reason, indoors, outdoors, the phone performs like a champ with 4K video, in my opinion, because that's a setting where we're just looking at trees or the outdoors, sidewalk, people. It's a very well lit situation. So when the phone is in somewhat of a restricted area for 4K recording, it does not handle it very well. And that could just be something that's due with a software update over time. I don't know. But I'm definitely will report this to ZTE and tell them, hey, listen, you know, the phone struggles a little bit in artificial lighting with 4K, but overall it does great with 4K. And that's probably the weakest point I found about this phone. So other than that, don't really have any dislikes. The phone is absolutely gorgeous. I know the fingerprints or whatever, that's gonna happen with a phone like this, and you just have to keep that shirt going to wipe it off, or I can put it back into the case that it comes with. But I've been really impressed with the phone. The screen is beautiful. The in-screen fingerprint reader works really well. Just no problems with the device at all. Just that one little hiccup in the 4K recording every now and then. Other than that, it's great. So I had to give you a follow-up on this because I wanted to dig real deep into this device and really try to nitpick it apart. But I just can't find anything right now. Now let me talk about something that some of you guys might think is a con for this phone, which is that it has no headphone jack this time around. ZTE, you know, I haven't seen them take off any headphone jacks from all the phones they released, at least in the US, that is, in the US. So now, you know, following the trend, but, you know, for this price point, it could be forgiven because everything else about this phone, and this isn't the first phone that I've given a pass to when it comes to missing something or, you know, doesn't do well in this area. And it gets a pass because of the price. This is competing against, you know, your Huawei's, your Samsungs, your Apples, your LGs, and, you know, for the first time, I think a good competitor to LG, the G8 in particular, is this device right here. They're priced really close. You know, the LG has the quality display and the headphone jack, but, you know, this is a strong competitor in that realm of the $600 price range devices. Your OnePlus devices, they all have to compete with this phone, and, you know, this phone beats them out in a lot of areas. So it's something to be desired by the you know, the people out there in the communities. They want the lowest price possible, and they want the best product, and this is one of the devices that actually offers that. This isn't the best phone on the market is what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're back to variety and options from ZTE, just like the Axon 7. Now, speaking of the Axon 7, the stereo speakers on here. They don't compare to the Axon 7 when it comes to that full, rich sound, bass and everything. You know, they had to cut some corners. This is how it works. You want to get this big screen. You want to get the edge to edge. You probably won't be able to fit the best sounding speakers in this device, but this follows that traditional top and bottom bezel type deal. You know what I mean? And, you know, the bezel, the earpiece is a speaker and the bottom is a speaker. This is very common today, and you shouldn't be surprised that they did it. While it's not as loud and as full as the Axon 7, I would say, It definitely sounds good, and having the option of stereo speakers, I mean, literally, folks, just side note here, ZTE threw as much in this bucket as they could for 600 bucks. There's no denying that. They really brought it with this phone. So this is something that I think that if you're looking for a phone in this price range, or you know what, not even in the price range, if you're comparing it next to the S10s and, you know, all these other phones out there that are feature packed like this one but cost more, then there's your answer. You know, it's stock Android now. They didn't do their skin or whatever it is. They kept it stock, and that is a huge plus. Yes, I'm kind of down here cleaning it off camera with my shirt because it is just so beautiful, man. Oh, that mirror finish is beautiful. Oh, you can see my coffee cups hanging on the wall right there. You can see it over there, man. That is a serious mirror finish. I guess one of the drawback, and this is about color options, it would have been nice to see a red version of this because it probably would look like the HTC U line. This blue is just absolutely stunning, folks. Let's not sleep on it. If there's a person out there or a tech reviewer out there that doesn't like this phone, I mean, we're not talking about Axon M type stuff right here. This is ZTE's attempt to join the current market in 2019 and have them outprice the other competition and offer pretty much the same options. There's no denying that. You can hate on it all you want to, but this is a fact. This phone exists now. This is the Axon 10 Pro. This is the Axon that a lot of people have been waiting on. No, it's not the 7. There was no 8. There was no 9 for the US. Quote, no 9 for the US. There's a 9, but not for the US. And it did work in the US, but so glad I waited. This is the Axon 10 Pro. This is where ZTE is right now. And I hope you'll enjoy more coverage with me on the Axon 10 Pro. Ask any question you want to ask down below, and I'll do my best to respond to you. And I'll probably do a couple of live streams. I don't know, you know, just to kind of keep you, I can get some real-time questions and answers going on, a Q&A. But other than that, folks, man, whew. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I really like I've actually kept it in this case right here, but it kind of reminds me of the OnePlus cases. You know, the company who did the OnePlus cases, whoever that company is that did OnePlus's cases, that's kind of how this one feels. It's got the matte sides, and it's got a grippy back and grippy interior. But there it is, man. The Axon 10 Pro is amongst us and is sitting amongst all the current phones out there. What do you guys think? At this price point, how could you go wrong? This is another option. If it's not the best option for you, what don't you like about this phone? For those that don't have the phone yet, just curious, for those that don't have the phone yet, what is something that you would say is not your favorite? The way it looks or something like that? Because that's the only thing you can really go on is the way it looks. Do you not like the cutout at the top? You know, what don't you like about it? Do you not like that they took away the headphone jack? All those things we can complain about, but the reality is that is the way the industry has gone. For the most part, the higher tier the phone goes, the less you're going to start to get. I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying this is where we're going. But, you know, IP68, Snapdragon 855, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, dual SIM in the US, and you can also use one SIM and an SD card. You can do 2 SIMs. It's just, this is it. ZTE has brought it. This is that feeling for Axon 7 users that we've been waiting on. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.